Yes, about a month ago, a viewer, well-known viewer, asked me, what's that yellow tin? I would call that a drum. That's what I use to get over the fence. Stand on the milk crate and hop over there and do whatever I've got to do inside here, which usually involves weeding all these. These are going surprisingly well. Very well indeed. Been sprouting a few more, and there's a pot or two which I wasn't too sure if I even had stuff in. I've got one of these pots mixed up. That one's coming out. That's good, finally. Don't think that one's... I think that's the empty one. I'm not too sure what the hell that one behind there is doing either. And there's another one or two that I've kept that are still inside the veranda in there, and they're crap. They're not going anywhere. One of them started to grow a bit, but it's flipping mutant. So that was the ones that survived from copping the spray, and some of them sort of didn't quite survive. For some reason, this end doesn't seem too good. I planted a few in there, and nothing's really happened, but that one has, but I don't know. And it had that purple-looking thing coming up. I thought it was one that was a bit dead, but there's another thing which sort of looks like... It's got your long initial dicotyledons, which are your two long leaves there. Almost like blades of grass hanging out the side. And there's still even one there. There's something that's got a similar thing, so it looks like it's actually a spinach sprouting, but then it's not. And I think that's what that little purple one is there. That is not the spinach I thought it might be, but I've planted into that twice now. And the first time that little one there come up, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be going too well. Maybe maybe it's not draining properly. Get off of it, you bastard! Stupid fucking cat. They're always so trying to get close to you, and then they do dumb things like that. Found one of these pots flipping almost tipped over last night. Sorry, pussy. It's just one of these things, alright, bud? Trying to look after these pots. You should be guarding those pots from the wabbits. Shits me, you take so much effort and one blooming dumb move like that, or he stops eating grass and starts eating broccoli, and you've just blown, more than a month's worth of growth. This is remarkable. I cannot actually believe how good this is going. If only all the rest of them went like that. That'll be a broccoli that'll be coming probably... The rate we're going, it'll probably have a broccoli head on it in the middle of winter. Which will be good. Of course, all these are planted rather early. Some of them are a bit slow on it, and others are a lot faster. And I'm glad that some of these broccoli have really... made a go of it. Others just didn't, and some really have gone quite well. Some of them have been saved from bugs and whatnot, like this one. He's going pretty good. No! Bloody cat. He's only doing it because he wants a pat. Sort of realise what he's doing. This is quite surprising. Some of these were the ones that were far too stalky, brought up in those little bluish, purplish looking propagation trays. And I just buried them a bit deeper, and some of them, they're really firing. So just because they're stalky initially, didn't sort of matter, because they've all flipping survived, which is quite a surprise. I thought I would have lost at least that one, I think, that had them almost no roots on it, and that one that was far too tall. And they've gone well, so that's good that I managed to salvage them. A lot of these are, just little ones here. There's another one just coming up there. I might wait a little bit more for some of these, or I may not. This thing hasn't done anything for a long time. This is a strange self-watering pot. I'm going to redo that one. And I might be looking down the barrel at redoing some of these, because those have been there for a while. along with one or two of them that I have over where the rabbit cage is. Some of those are just, yeah, it's beyond the joke, so I'll plant those out in spinach. The spinach I've sprouted inside on the little microgreens kit. It's actually, the leaves are coming out on it, so I've got to get on with that today. It's one of these things, you know, first few days nothing happens, and then when it does start to happen, it happens very quickly. And yeah. Interestingly enough, I emptied a bit of that out, as you can see by all the water there. A lot of that black stuff was actually stuck on the bottom, and I had to sort of shake the hose around on it to try and rub it off the bottom a little bit. You know, it was sort of pretty, wasn't really stuck, but it was sort of compacted a little bit. Sitting on the bottom, but sort of compacted, and yeah, it needed to be sort of rubbed off. And so I'd done that and sucked out a fair bit of it. A lot of it ended up being more clear water. But yeah, I got a good heap of it out of there anyway. There's not as much as it looks in the camera, not as much as I thought. When I first looked, I thought, shit, there's going to be piles of it. But it's just, yeah, like it just goes hard against the bottom, and then you rub it off, and then, you know, as it's cloudy in the water still, floating around in the water, that's, you know, you just suck the water out then. But that worked all right. I'm just waiting for the other one to drop down. And we don't have too long to go, and I'll actually get right into that one. And I may get right into the bottom of the sponge and everything. See what I can do. Yeah, it's ready to do now. You can see it's really dark there, but gets a lot. I flicked it off last night, right? And we had a little bit of spits and spats of rain last night, another, I don't know, a few mil, not even 1/8 of an inch. It's probably only 1/16 of an inch, and it threw that out with 1/16 of an inch worth of stuff. Just looking at this crap again. There's a place here I sort of know. Well, you know, there's a shop owned by these guys' brother. Fruit and veggie shop. Italian. Looking for a full-time person to join our wholesale team. Experience in fruit and vegetables is essential, and all they do is just own a fruit and veggie shop. What the hell is experience in fruit and vegetables supposed to mean? Another one here, tilt tray driver. Drapers does a lot of road work stuff. Civil contracting. And you've got to have a CI card, whatever the hell that is. I've seen ones that say CI card, CV card. I think it might be the crane on the back of a truck. I don't know what the hell is wrong with just having a Dogman's, but they say a Dogman's would also be advantageous, which is what I've got. Medium rigid license. That's a bit strange because I thought you'd be carrying stuff that is a little bit bigger than that. But you need a Cert 3 in Transport Load Restraint. It's probably some friggin' 3-night course that you get that really doesn't mean much except I know how to tie stuff down, strap stuff down. But somehow you've got to have that before you can even get a truck driving job. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of strange crap. What was the other one? They had one over here. Yeah, another mob that does haulage. You've got to have experience in detailing earth-moving equipment and road trucks. Just polishing the fucking things up is what I think it means. And spray painting would be an advantage, you know, but like, yeah, I can understand that, but honestly, if you just want to do a bit of basic spraying, it's not that hard to learn. It's when you get complicated stuff and you start doing it at speed, and that you know, it doesn't take that much to learn how to not make things run, especially on big flat surfaces like the back of excavators. But you know, experience in cleaning up trucks. Fuck, how hard can it be to learn this shit? But they want you to have previous experience in all this stuff, including fruit and veggies. The hell does that even mean? What, in selling fruit and veggies? So if there's any other odd ones here. I read about this in a union thing. Train cleaners. They had these people starting at 4 in the morning, working on $7 an hour, which is literally half of what minimum wage is here. And some other mob now does it. But all you're doing is clean a train. Like literally just, you know, they got vinyl floors, you mop the fucking thing out. Need a police check. It's a few dollars and quite a entanglement of, not tons of paperwork, but it's hard enough to understand the damn forms to get yourself a blooming police check that you've got to wait a while for, and you've got to apply straight away, but you've got to wait about a week for the bloody police check to come through. And all you're doing is in these solid blooming stainless steel, thick fiberglass and vinyl trains, mopping them out. Somehow you need a police check over that. Even if you're on drugs, what are you going to do? Unbolt and steal one of the friggin' seats or something? Like, and I told you guys I went to a certain place and asked about a job. It was one that was actually referred to me by another place that I went to. And they said, you might want to try this place. And I went there and, so what have you been doing this year? You know, have you worked this year, was what he asked. And I said, no, I've been renovating my house the whole time. Bang, that was it. Not a hope. Not a hope. Like as though we're all supposed to be ham and eggers that get straight out of one job and bang, by necessity have to get straight into another one. Don't have any savings, don't have any, you know, lack of heavy overhanging commitments that allow us to do anything like redo the gables in the house or anything like that. And I was shot in the foot, you know, that was a while ago. And I think I may have already told you guys about that, but I was shot in the foot the minute I said that I hadn't worked for the first 4 months of the year because I'd been renovating the house. Game over. Got another one here. I think this is some sort of a quasi-government. It must be some sort of a quasi-government thing. It sounds a hell of a lot. Doesn't have any health places that I currently know of listed, but it sounds a hell of a lot like social justice warrior kind of stuff. And somehow they need 2 people. Health Promotional Officer. Prevention of Women Against Violence. Prevention of Violence Against Women, rather. This position will help to support research, policy and programs relating to the prevention of violence against women using health promotion practice and evidence. Now, I understand the first bit. Well, what the hell is health promotion practice and evidence? Woo. It's to do with women's health and well-being, and while I've got nothing against that, this just reeks of social justice warrior to the back teeth, this. And you know it's your taxes at work. And I guarantee you, like, they got a whole big rant about discrimination is unlawful in advertising. And yet, when you get into this, they're saying they've got Committed to providing opportunities for young women as well as women re-entering the workforce and changing careers and da-da-da. And I tell you what, if you're a man, you would just be shot in the foot even trying. Even the other one here, sexual and reproductive health. This position will guide the implementation of a local sexual and reproductive health strategy. What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Liaising with partners to identify training and professional development needs, as well as design and implement prevention strategies for the community. Prevention strategies. Prevention of what exactly? It didn't say. Prevention of sexual and reproductive health? Holy smoke. You know, I can understand this if it was communist China, you know, like it just reeks so much of control and trying to tell you how to live your life and whatnot. And I understand they're probably trying to help with people not getting AIDS and shit like that. There has been a case of a African migrant spreading that amongst about 10 white girls. One dude, 10 white girls infected. But, yeah, it makes me wonder sometimes. I'm full of shit by trying to do a productive job. I should just give up and end up with one of these sissy bloody quasi-government organisations and start dressing like a organic hippie freak, because I mean I already live off grid and I already grow organic plants, so what the fuck, I might as well just grow my hair long and start wearing strange tie-dyed clothes and grow myself a beard and just go a bit strange like that, and because then at least I'll guarantee myself about $1,200 clear in my pocket every week with one of these quasi-government jobs. I was watching a thing before on the news section in my computer about a particular politician who's trying to re-enter politics after just about getting rolled over and claimed to be the next Hitler. And she's tried to come back a couple of times, but this time she's focusing a lot on the waste and how people are so obsessive with bringing in 50,000 Syrian refugees to help them out. And she said, I've been out to country areas and the dairy farmers, they used to have the milk price recently dropped to 1970s prices. Now, this is about 6 or 9 months ago. And the wages, you know, the cents per litre they were getting, you know, the dollars per gallon they were getting, was the same as in the 1970s, regardless of the fact that wages are literally fourfold that now. And they somehow had to make it all float. And then the price went up a little bit, and now it's dropped far below what it was before. And there's a lot of people that just, it's just bullshit. They sign these contracts that are 20 pages fucking long, you know, with all these fancy-ass complicated clauses, just so that when they suddenly decide that something changes down at some bloody food giant, food processing giant, they just turn around and say, well, you know what, we only need a quarter of the milk we wanted, and the prices are going to fucking drop to 2/3 of what they were. And the same thing's happened in the wine industry. You know, they had all these people grow these grapes 2 weeks before picking time. They told them, well, guess what? We only need 1/3 of what we wanted, you know, and there's all these people with all those grapes to pick, nowhere for them to go. And there's a lot of people committing suicide and stuff like that, especially out in the dairy industry areas. And she said, you know, here we are being told that we've got to tuck our, you know, tighten our belts, and the politicians are spending like wildfire on bullshit. They're all worried about 50,000 Syrian refugees, and their own people are running to bankruptcy and committing suicide, and they're not even fucking considering them. You know, and it's even been said previously during the drought, oh, all you guys want is a handout, you know, and same thing with the, what's his name, with the they had issues with stone fruit coming from China, going to bankrupt a whole area that deals with growing peaches and apricots and stuff like that. And I've eaten twice Chinese apricots, and they're like fucking cardboard. And they look strange because they've got all these veins running through them. They don't even look natural. They've found one bunch of berries that come over that had hepatitis B in them. It's not unknown to find DDT in these things. And during that, you guys just want a handout. And we don't get any subsidies. I mean, fucking nothing. We're not like Europe. We're not like the United States. There's no omnibus bill. There's no jack shit. And the best they could do during the drought was offer to pay your power bill. Now the best they can do for the dairy farmers is offer mental health first aid, which is some crap course that both of my parents have actually done, which is just a little 2-night course to identify people around you who are in depression and a couple of other minor things. And that's the best they can offer these guys who are going bankrupt and committing suicide over, let's worry about the rest of the world's problems and try and shoulder those, pouring out $1 billion a year in foreign aid to Indonesia to stop illegal immigrants, and not a single cent of it gets another Coast Guard working, gets another gallon of diesel in the Coast Guard's boat. Nothing. The $1 billion a year goes straight into the pockets of the corrupt politicians and all the corrupt people in the Coast Guard and military and coastal watch stuff, and just $1 billion a year, just flush down the shitter, And if they want to flush a bit more money down the shitter, they can put me on $1,200 a week clear, and I'll just pretend to be someone I'm not until I've paid my fucking mortgage off. Custom made, brother. It's a friggin' Aston Martin.